Poker Tour. The biggest games, the greatest players, and the largest payouts on the planet. The WPT is a series of international high-stakes poker tournaments that can turn amateur players into millionaires and make professionals into superstars. With millions of dollars on the line, it's time for these 6 players to live the dream of fame, fortune, and the one thing money can't buy, a WPT title. Tonight on the World Poker Tour.
Hi everyone, welcome to the WPT, and tonight we're coming to you from the Foxwoods Resort Casino in Connecticut for the World Poker Finals. I'm Mike Sexton alongside Vince Van Patten.
And Mike, the list of previous winners of this event reads like a roadmap to becoming a poker superstar, because we have champions the likes of Howard Lederer, Hoyt Corkins, Tuan Lee, Ninad Medic, young Nick Schulman. I mean, they're all great players. They're all very successful players.
Well, Vance, you know all of these 6 remaining players would love to join that elite list.
Well, it would be a dream come true for one of these 3 relatively unknown players making their first appearance at a WPT final table, but they are up against 3 of the poker world's heavyweights.
That's for sure. David the Dragon Pham is making his 7th appearance at a WPT final table. Mike the Mouth Mattisau is here for a 4th time.
Oh, yeah!
And the Season 6 WPT Player of the Year, Jonathan Little, is back again, looking for yet another $1 million payday. Who will become the next WPT champion?
Well, there's only one way to find out. Let's go watch them gamble.
Okay, here we go. The final table of the World Poker Finals about to get underway.
Boys and girls, good luck.
We started 4 days ago with 412 players. We are down to our final 6. The winner tonight is going to take home over $1.1 million.
And right now, Jonathan Jaffe, a 21-year-old from Connecticut, is our chip leader with about $4.4 million. Mike the Mouth Mattisau is the short stack with about $769. And he's at $4,000. Blinds are 20 and 40. Cards are flying. Here we go.
Well, action's going to be on the lone amateur at the table, Charlie Marchese.
And he quickly folds his hand.
Jack Schonbacher, young pro out of Pittsburgh. He looks down at a pair of deuces.
And he has raised it to $110,000 to go.
This monster here. I'm going to fold again.
Like the Mouth Mattisau quickly folding, as does David the Dragon Pham.
Jonathan Jaffe now. He's the 21-year-old chip leader at this final table. He looks down at a pair of 10s.
Call.
Opts to just make the call. Doesn't come over the top.
Little going out. 2-way action. 2 wired pairs.
I check.
And he's checked in the dark.
You catch that dealer? I check.
Meaning he's not betting. Doesn't matter what comes out there. It's come King 9-6 with 2 clubs.
Helping neither player. Action first on Jonathan Jaffe, and he had checked in the blind.
Jack Schonbacher up against the chip leader. Opts to check on the flop as well.
Yep, a 9 on the turn.
Well, again, Jaffe checks.
And just afraid maybe his opponent has a king, but a quick check behind him. Very conservative by Jaffe. River cards a 5 of diamonds.
By now, after his opponent's checked on the flop and the turn, you have to believe your 2 10s are the best hand. See if he'll get a value bet in now.
250.
And indeed he is.
Into Jack, the young 26-year-old. Sort of like an Adam Sandler lookalike there, if you ask me. Jonathan Jaffe is a heads-up specialist. Loves to play one-on-one. Then Jack is thinking this through. Is he going to pay him off?
So curiosity is going to get Jack here. He's going to make the call with the 2 deuces and lose the pot. So the rich get richer. Our chip leader, Jonathan Jaffe, increases his stack by taking down pot number 1.
Nicely done by the heads-up specialist. Stay with us. We're coming back with more from Foxwoods.
When I started playing poker, watching the WPT on TV, I always pictured myself in one of the spots. Pretty exciting being 21 and playing for this kind of prize pool. It's just kind of one of those things you dream about when you're a kid. And if I even knew what poker was when I was a kid, I'd probably be dreaming about it.
David the Dragon Pham is a great player. David is not Mike Mattisau famous. Since everybody wants to beat the Mouth, they come after me. Yes! And nobody fears me like they used to. You know, they actually fear him, which allows him to play a lot more poker, which allows him to steal a lot more pots, which makes him probably a better player.
Welcome back to the World Poker Tour. A little paranoia by Mike the Mouth Mattisau. What an event we have going here. 6 players remain. going after this title here tonight.
Current chip leader is 21-year-old Jonathan Jaffe with over $5 million in chips, and the mouth on the short stack right now. Gonna have to get in gear pretty quick, make something happen here.
Action goes to him, and the mouth is going to look down at an ace-jack.
I raise.
And that's a good hand when you're on the short stack.
He says raise, of course.
$110.
110,000 is the bet.
And to David the Dragon Famine. Look at this. He has picked up the 2 queens, the Hilton sisters.
Well, the Dragon going to breathe a little fire here, I think, with these 2 queens on Mike Matusow.
What a big hand he's got.
He's going right over the top.
250.
360,000 is now the bet.
Jonathan Jaffe out. Jonathan Little as well.
Round to the lone amateur, Charlie Marchese. He's out as well.
And now it's on Jack Schonbacher.
He's got the 7-6 suited, but can't imagine you're going to call a raise and a re-raise with that.
No, he gets around to his senses. They are full to hand, so it's back on the mouth.
Well, this is going to cost him half his chips to make the call, Vince. I just can't imagine he's not going to move in if he's going to play this hand. But he's got to realize that the Dragon is just not making a move here to be making one.
And the mouth is going to fold his hand. You know, Mike Matusow said beforehand, he says, I'm not a complete poker player unless I take home a WPT title. He wants it that bad.
Well, both he and the Dragon that you're looking at there have made 11 final tables between them, yet they have 0 titles.
That'll be the last time I raise it. I don't go all in with it.
So both of them desperately want to take down a WPT title.
All right, back to the action. Jonathan Jaffe, and look at this. He has picked up the weapons of mass destruction, the pair of aces.
110.
Now he is going to raise it, makes it 110,000 to go.
Yes, he is. And right behind him, Jonathan Little. He's got Queen Jack, but he's pushing chips in here.
The WPT Player of the Year heading for quicksand here.
Marchese out. Schonbacher not going to play. Matusow not playing.
Are they good?
Dragon, he's not going to get involved.
How much more is it?
Back on Jonathan Jaffe.
I'm all in.
Well, he's pushed back over the top. He says all in.
These are the 2 chip leaders going at it here. And Jaffe is not fooling around at all. He is just hoping Jonathan Little's got something he can play with, but that seemed like a large overbet to me. Yeah, you just wonder if Jaffe should have slow played those aces a little more, made a smaller raise. Didn't want to fool around with Jonathan Little. Tough player, just wanted to go all in and hope he would get cold. As it was, by moving all in, you shut the man out unless he's got a giant hand.
On to the next hand. On the man from Long Island. Gotten this tournament through a satellite, Charlie Marchese.
Looks like you got that shirt in a souvenir store, doesn't it?
Goes out. Jack Schonbacher also out.
I'm all in.
Matusow with ace-8 says all in.
Well, somewhat of a marginal hand, but when you're in a short stack and only got a couple guys to get by, you just move all in with the ace high and hold your breath.
Well, it's going to work because the rest of them go away. So Matusow getting on the board, finally taking down his first pot here tonight.
Well, you're right. He picks up the blinds and antes, but anytime you pick up a pot, doesn't matter what the size is when you're on a short stack, you're happy to be stacking chips.
And with that, the antes and blinds are going up to 5,000. Blinds will be 25 and 50,000.
Well, there you're looking at a graphic that shows how many big blinds each player has left. As you can see, Mike Matusow, not many. Well, it's over 100,000 around now to play, so you can't sit back and just wait for the big hands. You got to make some moves on occasion to stay alive.
Mike Matusow in first position. Going to muck a Jack 3. Dragon going out.
Now around to Jonathan Jaffe, our chip leader.
110.
He's got a pair of 5s. He's going to come in for 110,000.
Little out. Now Charlie not going to play.
All in.
Jack Schonbacher's going over the top with ace-queen. He says all in. Are we playing fast or what?
Well, he doesn't know if this Jaffe has a real hand or not, or just making a move because he's got the chip lead. You pick up an ace-queen in the big blind, you always think somebody's trying to steal it.
I call. Wow.
So here we go, the classic race situation, the two over cards versus the under pair.
Good luck, Chuck. Good luck, bud.
Now, Jonathan Jaffe, of course, has a monster chip lead and can well afford to lose this pot. Unfortunately for Jack Schonbacher, he must win this race to stay alive in this tournament.
Okay, let's see a flop.
Go, Rosa.
Schonbacher from Pittsburgh drove up here to Foxwoods for this event. And look at this.
Oh, come Queen 10-4, all hearts. So far, so good. For Jack Schonbacher, he has taken the lead with 2 queens.
41.
Jonathan Jaffe with a huge flush draw. Can he bust out the first victim here tonight? Mr. Pittsburgh.
Looking for a 5 or a heart. Well, Jack of Diamonds comes on the turn.
King of Hearts.
So Schonbacher dodged one bullet. Can he dodge another?
God bless poker.
Mike Matusow saying his piece. Here we go to the river.
It's a 10 of spade. So there you go. Feels like we're at a Steeler game here right now, Vince. The Pittsburgh people going wild.
A young man from Pittsburgh with his family and friends, and Grandma Irene, 82 years young. There she is. 6 players remain. Tremendous excitement. Stay with us. We're coming back with more action from Foxwoods in just a moment.
Bad poker face. Doesn't matter when you play online at partypoker.com. It's fun, it's easy, it's the world's largest poker room.
Find out how to become the next WPT champion
at worldpokertour.com.
My legacy in my poker career is defined by me winning a World Poker Tour championship. Like, I have to win a World Poker Tour bracelet, and I truly believe that. I mean, you can't just get there, and not win.
That's going to do it. Mike Matusow is going to be out in 6th place. Matusow out in 3rd place.
Hopefully we see another one soon.
You'll see me at a lot of them. You got to get the gold, you know. If I win this, it'd be the most satisfying win of my life.
Mike Matusow.
We are back here at the World Poker Finals at Foxwoods.
Our current chip leader is 21-year-old Jonathan Jaffe
Great sweat spot.
with over $4.2 million.
Did I know how much more in 5th place, nor do I care.
But Mike Matusow on the bottom of that list only has a little over $600,000, so he's going to have to get it in gear quick. He's going to take down this title.
This is like a $30,000 card for me minimum.
6 players remain. Let's go to the table. It is on the Dragon. David Pham.
He looks down at an ace-7 offsuit. The Dragon making his 7th WPT final table appearance tonight. That is an amazing record, folks. He has yet to win a title either. Here he's got the ace-7 offsuit. That's going to be good enough for the Dragon to raise, it looks like. And indeed it is. He comes in for $140,000.
Into the chip leader, the young 21-year-old Jonathan Jaffe, who has a pair of 8s here.
Got the Snowman, makes the call.
Little out, Mr. Long Island. Charlie also going away. And now Jack here with a pair of 9s.
Now Jack Schonbacher has a degree in marketing and accounting from LaRoche College in Pittsburgh. And right now trying to account what to do with these 2 9s. He's just going to call with the 2 9s.
And now it's on the mouth, Mr. Matusow, and he's got an ace-jack.
All in.
And he's going over the top, saying all in.
Vince, I like this play because 2 guys limped in behind the razor, so they don't figure to have ace-king or ace-queen. Go ahead and gamble with the ace-jack here.
Well, the Dragon has folded.
I call.
Jonathan Jaffe has made the call with the 8s. Now it's up to the man who has the best starting hand, Jack Schonbacher.
Well, Jack just won a nice pot a moment ago to move into 2nd chip position. Does he want to jeopardize him here with 2 9s and a 3-way pot? We know he's got the best hand, but he doesn't know it. He's going to lay him down.
You got 2 9s over there?
You're close.
Well, Matusow put the chip leader on what he had. He knows he's got to win a race here, that's all. And what a race it is.
500. Well, you had the 2 9s, huh?
A massive pot for Mattisau to win, $1.6 million. It'll put him right back in the thick of things at this final table.
And look at this. He is exuding confidence, feeling that his hand's going to come up.
He had a bigger pair than you.
I thought he either had that or he had his queen.
He didn't. I knew where you were at, and I knew where I knew for sure where you were at, and he was at. You had 9s. I put you on. I knew what he had. I knew what you had, and he didn't have. And my cards are live, and that's why I made the play.
It's a good move.
I made the perfect read on the hand.
Boom! Here comes the flop. Can Mattisau get lucky?
Well, not yet. It comes queen 3 deuce. So Mattisau needs to catch an ace or a jack or 2 running cards to make it straight. Otherwise, he's going to be out in 6th place.
Mattisau trying to stay confident. Here's the turn card. Will it help him?
Well, there. It's a 5 of spade. That does give Mattisau a straight draw, meaning he can win the pot with a 4 now, as well as an ace or a jack.
I win this tournament. I promise.
But Mike Mattisau said, if I catch a river card here, I'm going to win this tournament. He needs an ace, a jack, or a 4.
Otherwise, he's our 6th place finisher.
9 for jack.
It's a jack.
He caught it.
He has done it. Oh, look at the mouth.
I told you.
Look at the mouth go.
Oh, man, happier than a hippie at Woodstock.
I told you all. Don't let me get back in it.
Mike the Mouth taking a bite out of that pot.
That's right.
And I must say, in the history of his final table appearances, he hadn't caught any river cards to stay alive.
Knew it was coming.
I said, Mike.
He's done it here. Let's see if that'll turn things around for Mike the Mouth Mattisau.
But at least I read the hand right.
He is doubled up. Stay with us. We're coming back with more action here on the World Poker Tour.
Welcome back to the World Poker Tour. We're at Foxwoods.
Well, the 21-year-old Jonathan Jaffe is still a chip leader, $3.5 million. He's taken a couple hits, but Jack Schonbacher has about 2.4 right behind him.
Well, a couple hits is right. He's gone through a couple million in chips. The short stacks have come up. It's anybody's game right now.
Our chip leader, Jonathan Jaffe.
He's got a Jack-10 suited hand. So he comes in for $100,000, just doubles the size of the blind.
Jonathan Little out. Charlie Marchese hasn't played a pot tonight. Jack not going to play, but Mattisau here.
Well, Mattisau, who just nearly tripled up a moment ago, has the 8-6 of diamonds. He wants to see a flop, so he makes the call. And the Dragon calls out of the big blind with a 9-8. So 3-way action here. Here comes a flop. Let's come ace, 8-7. So both the Dragon and Mattisau pair. But Mattisau's going to check, and the Dragon checks as well.
150.
Well, Jonathan's going to bet $150,000 here, trying to represent that he's got 2 aces.
Making the continuation bet, even though he didn't hit.
Look at Mattisau's instincts, just doesn't believe him, and correctly so, calls him with second pair, the 2-8s. Even though the Dragon has the best hand because he has Mattisau kick, when one guy bets and another one called, very tough to call with second pair. Dragon goes out. 2 players left. Deuce of diamonds comes off. Mattisau quickly checking. Will Jonathan Jaffe fire another shell? He's reaching for chips, Vince. Now, many players would love to get a free card here to try to catch that gut shot straight for free.
25.
But Jonathan is not doing that. This is pretty impressive here, Vince. $225,000. He bet on the flop. He got called. He's betting again on the turn with just a gut shot straight draw.
Trying to make the mouth say, ah. Will it work?
Well, Vince, Mattisau was on such a short stack for such a long time. Basically almost tripled up, just a hand to go. Does he want to jeopardize them all right here with second pair? Mattisau does give it up. I think you have to tip your hat to Jonathan Jaffe there by having the moxie to fire a second shell. He earned that pot.
Got anything, kid?
Yeah. Yeah.
We thought you did too.
Instincts incorrect there. Mattisau feeling like Jaffe had something strong, but of course, you can't be right all the time, even if you are Mike the Mouth. Ante's still 5,000, blinds 25 and 50,000. We have 6 players remaining.
Tough decision there.
Going after that $1.1 million first place prize here tonight.
Well, action's going to be on the Season 6 WPT Player of the Year, Jonathan Little. He goes out.
Now Charlie with the suited connector. Not going to play it. Very tight so far tonight.
Well, the young pro out of Pittsburgh now. Jack Schonbacher looks down at 10-6 of spade. He's going to try this hand. He's going to raise it up to 150,000.
Yep, he sees it opening up, and he's going to try to take advantage of it with a nothing hand. Mouth going out. David the Dragon out.
And Jonathan Jaffe, our chip leader, has the 5-4 clubs, the suited connectors. Going to cost him another 100,000 to make this call, and he's going to do it. So we're going to have a flop.
A check.
Well, Jaffe checking in the dark, meaning doesn't matter what comes out there, he's not betting. It's come 7-3 deuce, so Jonathan Jaffe did flop an open-end straight draw, but it's checked over to Jack. Now, he has nothing, remember, just a 10 and a 6. But will he make the continuation bet? You just wouldn't suspect a flop like that would help your opponent. You wouldn't think a guy's going to call a raise with a 3 or a deuce in his hand, for example.
Well, the young 26-year-old from Pittsburgh is going to make the bet with absolute zip and pip. It looks like 180,000. Can he chase away his opponent?
Well, Jonathan's reaching for chips, but they look like they're just calling chips, and indeed that's what he's done.
Going to get stubborn here.
Check.
And again, he checks in the blind.
Well, he seems to like this play. 8 of diamonds comes off. Now, this does give Jack a gut shot straight draw. A 9 would give him a straight. Remember, his opponent called a raise before the flop. He called a bet on the flop. Do you take the free card here, or do you fire another shell? Well, he's going for the free card. He's checking. And an ace comes off.
Jaffe hitting his straight there with the ace.
150.
That is music to the ears of Jonathan Jaffe because he has the very best hand possible right now, the nuts.
Oh, what a beautiful thing when you hit the nuts. And he bets a meek 150,000.
Well, you're right, Vince. Over 700,000 in the pot, a very small bet. And if you're sitting in Jack Schonbacher's seat, you're saying, you know, why would this guy come betting when an ace comes out there? Shouldn't he put me on an ace the way I played this hand? I raised before the flop, bet on the flop, checked on the turn.
Oh, and look at this. Jack has fallen into the trap here.
650,000.
Well, you have to think destiny is on your side when things like this happen to you. Jonathan Jaffe is going to raise this pot because there's no hand that can beat him, just a matter of how much he's going to raise.
I'm going to raise an additional 1,390,000.
Is that what you're going to raise, Jonathan? Okay, try to say it casually. But this is what it's all about. You've been playing poker for days on end. You're the chip leader, and now this happens. An absolute dream. 6 players remain. The winner's going to take home over $1.1 million here at Foxwoods, and we're coming back with more action.
After Atlantis, I wasn't sure if I'd ever make another final table because I realized it's hard to make it to the final table. And after Mirage, I figured I'd probably never make another one. And then after Niagara Falls, I figured I'd never win anything again either. Basically, just making the final table is the big accomplishment.
Well, Jonathan Little is right about that. It is tough to make these WPT final tables, yet at 23 years of age, this is his 4th WPT final table, Vince.
Well, he's a great player. Okay, let's go to the chip count. Jonathan Jaffe, a 21-year-old, out in front with $5 million in chips.
Jonathan Little in second place with about $2 million. Everybody else bunched up between 1.2 and 1.4 so.
6 players remain. Let's go to the table here tonight. Action's on Jack Schonbacher. He's going to fold a 6-4.
And Mike the Mouth Mattisau looks down at Jack 4 of diamonds. Looks like he's running out of patience here because he's going to make a move.
Nice.
With this Jack 4, he says raise. Comes in for 130,000.
The Mouth starting to play on instincts alone. Will it work? David the Dragon behind him with a pair of 3s, though.
He's capped his card, so you wonder if he's picked up some kind of tell on the Mouth.
David the Dragon, 7th final table on the World Poker Tour. Yet to take the title.
Please.
Well, look at this. He's going to make a raise on the Mouth.
Just terrific poker instincts. Just suspected the Mouth had nothing. Comes right over the top of him with 2 3s.
Jonathan Jaffe out, but look at this. Jonathan Little behind him with a pair of Cowboys.
Wow, that's just tough luck for David Pham that the guy in the blind has picked up 2 kings. Now let's see how Jonathan Little is going to play him. The pot's been raised and re-raised to him. Now both his opponents Only have about 1.2 million in chips. Jonathan Little has about 2 million. So he has them both covered.
I'm all in.
The Little has gone all in. Marchese out. Madison
Can't beat. All in.
absolutely disgusted why he got involved in that. He folds his hand.
Well, now David the Dragon Pham has to make a decision for all his chips. The best he could hope for is his opponent's got 2 overcards where they'd be in like a race situation. Unfortunately for David, not only does his opponent have an overpair, it's the same 2 suits as his 2, meaning he can't make a flush to win the pot.
And the Dragon's thinking to himself, why did I have to be so smart? Pick up a Telematisau. You know, you play for so long, you make a good move, you're patient, and then this happens. Jonathan Little, very stoic there. Tougher to read than the final line on an eye exam. And he's going to take down that pot.
Well, the Dragon does make a good laydown there.
I was moving all in. Jonathan didn't wake up with a hand.
So Jonathan Little,
That'd be for me, then,
the
if he
Season 6 WPT Player of the Year, going for his 2nd WPT title tonight.
Makes sense now.
Takes down that pot with the 2 kings.
So Jonathan Little, only 23 years old now.
He's got those Elvis Presley sideburns, Vince. Notice that.
Yes, it's sort of a John Lennon, John Hinckley combination, I would say.
Well, it's working. He's picked up a pair of 9s here.
Wow. Back-to-back wired pairs, and he's going to raise, making $125,000 to go.
Charlie Marchese goes away a 9-4.
Jack out,
All in.
and now Mike Madison with ace-jack says all in. David Pham going out, Jonathan Jaffe going away.
Can I get a count?
We're back around to Jonathan Little. He wants to know how much it's going to cost him. And what he's doing now is counting up how many chips he's going to have left if he makes this call and loses this pot. Something every player should do in this situation. Now, Jonathan can see he's going to have about 1.6 million left if he makes this call and loses the pot. So enough chips to play with. I'd be surprised if he doesn't make the call.
Mike the Mouth quieted down. He's got the duct tape on right now. Won't say a word. He's got to sweat this.
I'll call.
Well, Jonathan's made the call.
I wanted to be a coin flip there. And it's my lucky hand, boys.
Well, the ace-jack worked for him last time. He was up against 2 8s.
I felt that's exactly where you were at.
He says, I knew where you were at, so I guess he thinks he can win all these races.
I didn't think you'd play a coin flip for half your hand.
Madison trying to
Good luck.
You too.
display confidence.
It's not really lightning. It's
Can he do it twice tonight with ace-jack?
248. And I put it in. I didn't call it.
Mumbling poker figures in his head.
I got it.
Mike the Mouth with his mouth dance.
Saw him catch a jack on the river the last time to John dance around the room, but so
They
far
make me sweat, don't they?
he needs some help as it comes king 5-3 with 2 diamonds. Needs to catch an ace or a jack or 2 running cards to make it straight, exactly as he did before.
And he doesn't get it on the turn. It's a 5 that pairs the board.
This one's going to be tougher.
So we are down to the river card. Mike Madison must catch an ace or jack to stay alive in this tournament. He did it before, but not this time. 4 clubs comes off. That is going to do it for Mike the Mouth Madison. He will be our 6th place finisher.
Going to pick up $124,000.
For the 4th time at a WPT final table, not the charm for Mike the Mouth Madison. He's going to have to wait to take down a WPT title.
That is right. The Mouth has been closed here this evening. We are down to 5 players.
Yeah, but I thought I didn't think he was going to call it either.
They're all going after that first place prize of $1.1 million.
When he calls, he's got to put in half his chips and hope he's a coin flip, and it's really a spot he really doesn't need to call, and he called, and I lost a coin flip. That's all. Won one, lost one. If I won both of them, it would have been my day.
So the Mouth eats the dust. We're coming back with more action here on the World Poker Tour. Welcome back to the WPT, coming to you tonight from Foxwoods.
The action is just starting up again. Let's get back to the felt.
Right now, Jonathan Jaffe, 21 years old, out in front with $4.9 million. Jonathan Little, WPT champion and WPT Player of the Year, has about $4.2 million. The rest about $1 million each. Action right back on our chip leader, Jonathan Jaffe, a 21-year-old from Connecticut. He's our chip leader at this point. Looks down at a 10 deuce. Can't play that.
And Jonathan Little looks at the 10-9 of clubs, but lays it down. The amateur, Charlie Marchese, folding as well.
Come on up.
And Jack says all in. I don't think he looked at his hand here.
You're right, Vince. I don't think he did either.
That was a blind raise. But he's gone all in. Now David Pham has it ace-3 of diamonds.
Oh, Vince, if the Dragon saw that he didn't look at his hands, I promise you he's going to call with this hand.
Sometimes a pro wants to make this kind of blind raise.
Well, the Dragon opts to lay it down.
Yep.
Oh, and look at this.
Unbelievable.
Jack shows down 2 kings. He had the moxie to move all in the dark there.
Second, little did he know he had a pair of kings wired. Of course you're not going to go all in. You're going to suck your victim out a little bit. And he is stunned. He's walking over to his friends.
Oh, my God.
Oh. This is unbelievable.
Dude, I blind shoved the small blind. Blind shoved. Looked after I shoved. When he folded, I had 2 kings. I wanted to throw up. Sent me in orbit. Seriously, you see it on TV. I didn't look. You won't know what my cards are. I said all in. I looked. I had 2 kings.
Well, there you hear it. A blind shove, but then to see it backfire, when you pick up your pair of kings, it doesn't get any worse than that.
Oh, boy.
All right, back to the table.
Well, not many times when you go on tilt when you win a pot, but who knows what will happen to Jack now.
All right, it's going to be on Jonathan Little, WPT Player of the Year. He quickly folds a 6-3. Charlie, the amateur player from Long Island, hasn't played much here tonight, goes out. And it's back on our friend Jack.
Well, this time he's got the suited connectors, the Jack 10 of spade. He's going to raise it here, makes it 150,000 to go.
150.
And the Dragon looks down at the King Jack of hearts. Now, he got out of the way a minute ago when Jack moved all in on him, but I believe the Dragon is not going to throw this one away. And he is going to make the call.
Jonathan Jaffe with just a Jack 4 elects to eject the hand. All right, two-way action. King Jack up against Jack 10.
And here comes the flop. 8-5-3, no help to either player. The Dragon quickly checks.
Now let's see if Jack will make the continuation bet. No, he slows down there.
Well, he checks right behind the Dragon. Here comes the turn card. An ace comes off. No help to either player, but a scare card for both players. The Dragon checks.
How much you have? Like 8?
750, 60, 775.
Well, the short stack says I've got 770-some thousand left. Will Jack fire here with just the Jack high? Well, he's doing it. Give him credit for that. 260,000 is the bet.
Young guy from Pittsburgh does have moxie. He'd love to take this pot right now. Push the Dragon out of this. Put him back in his cave.
The Dragon has no hand and no draw, as we say. The only way he could play this pot is if he just thought his opponent had poppycock.
Which he does.
Oh, unbelievable. David, the Dragon Pham has made the call with just king high here, folks. Feeling like it's just the best hand.
That is the call of the night.
Now the board pairs aces. Again, the Dragon checks. And now Jack's got to be saying to himself, whoa, this guy called me on the turn. Wouldn't he call me again on the river after the board pairs aces? Will he fire another shell into this pot? Nope, he's going to check it.
King high.
The Dragon announces king high proudly. And folks, I got to tell you, when you're on the short stack, it can make a call on the turn like that with just king high. That is playing some poker. Unbelievable.
Sickest ever. David Pham.
That gives you a glimpse of why this guy's made 7 final tables on the World Poker Tour.
Brilliant poker by the Dragon. Stay with us. We're coming back with more exciting action here on the World Poker Tour. We are back here at the World Poker Finals at Foxwoods. Jonathan Jaffe, 21 years old, out in front with 4.9 million in chips.
Jonathan Little still in second place with about 4.1 million on the short stack right now. Is Jack Schonbacher, the young pro out of Pittsburgh. He just has 800,000.
To the money pit we go once again.
No, 2K.
Action's on Jack. 26-year-old looks at a 9, 8 of spades.
Well, he's picked up the suited connectors, Vince, and he's gone all in with them.
He's starting to steam off a little bit. Might be bad timing because David the Dragon right behind him with a pair of 10s.
8.
And the Dragon has 1.4 million in chips.
I call.
And he's going to make the call here with the 2 10s.
Nice call. Our chip leader goes out. And now Jonathan Little looks down at a pair of queens. Can you believe it?
Unbelievable. He's picked up the overpair over both his opponents who have raised. One's moved all in, the other one's made the call.
Early on, he had the kings when the mouth had a bluff and Pham had the little raise. It's happening again. He's going to re-raise it.
Well, he puts 1.6 million out there. Charlie Marchese going out. And the Dragon only has about 600,000 left. There's nearly 2.5 million in the pot. I'd be shocked if he'd lay this down for a couple reasons. A, it'll give him a chance to win the tournament if he could win it. But B, even if he and Jack are eliminated on this hand, in tournament poker, if 2 players are eliminated at the same pot at the final table, whoever started the final hand with more chips gets the higher finishing position.
Tough decision, right?
Meaning the Dragon would get more money than Jack, even if he called and lost this pot.
That's true. And the difference between 5th and 4th is about 60,000. So that is significant and something to think about to persuade you to make this call.
What do you mean?
Now, Vince, you'd be fearful if you were in the Dragon seat that your opponent had aces or kings or queens in this situation, because otherwise, why would he get involved in the pot?
I know I jack bit, but my hand could be dominating John at 4.
But the Dragon lays it down.
You got queens, don't I? Yeah.
Vince, I got to tell you, I could have never laid that hand down for 600,000 more with 2.5 million out there. I just have to gamble with the 2 10s, but the Dragon's out of the way. 2 players are fighting it out for this pot. Jack, Schonbacher, all in with the 9-8 of spade up against the 2 queens of Jonathan Little.
Yeah, Pittsburgh Jack needs some luck here. Here comes the first 3.
Well, comes Jack 6-5, so the immaculate reception still alive here.
Yep. Inside straight draw gives him some hope.
He needs a 7, a walking stick. That comes up. He won't be walking out of here. He'll be staying.
All right, here comes 4th Street, the turn card. Can Pittsburgh get lucky?
Well, a 6 comes off, so we're down to the river card. Jack Schonbacher must catch a 7 to stay alive in this tournament. If he doesn't catch it, he'll be out in 5th place. Well, it's an 8. That gives him 2 pair, but not good enough. Jonathan Little queens up, going to win this pot.
Well, that's going to wrap it up for Jack Schonbacher. Going to take home 182,000.
And hence, what about the Dragon? He threw those 10s away. He still got some chips. He's still alive.
That's just because I like you. You're a nice guy.
2 are gone. 4 remain.
That's right. The showdown in the forest at Foxwoods continues right after this.
We play for big pots, small stakes, and the chance to say, read 'em and weep. For the weekends, the all-nighters, and the lunch hour. We play for the legends and for the unknowns who dream of winning it all. For the bad beats and the pocket kings we sometimes have the sense to fold. We play at FullTiltPoker.com.
The World Poker Finals is a great event for Foxwoods. Many of the pros show up here at Foxwoods Resort Casino. Some of our big-name players were Daniel Negreanu, Chris Ferguson, Gavin Smith, Barry Greenstein was here, Freddie Deeb, Kathy Liebert, Phil Ivey was also here. Spectators love to watch the big-name players play, and players like playing here because we usually have a fairly good-sized prize pool. The prize pool this year was over $3.8 million. They like coming to Foxwoods.
Well, all the big-name pros do come through Foxwoods at one time or another. We've got 2 guys here for the first time at a WPT final table, but the other 2 have been here on multiple occasions.
We also had another big name back in '92 at Foxwoods, did some damage. That would be Mike Sexton. What? You took the first title here.
I did win the first World Poker Finals $10,000 buy-in tournament, and I'm proud of it.
David Pham With an uneventful Jack-7, he won't play that.
And round to Jonathan Jaffe on the button. He looks at 8-5 of hearts.
30.
It's good for him to raise it. He makes it 130,000 to go. Jonathan Little has nothing and folds.
So now Charlie from Long Island with an ace-4. Looks like he's going to come out of the closet here tonight for the first time and play a pot.
How much do you have behind about Charlie?
I wonder if Charlie knows he's at Foxwoods. Maybe he thinks he's in Las Vegas. Maybe he thinks that shirt is going to fool these guys and that he's a Las Vegas pro. What do you think?
A little delusional, if you ask me, but very tight player so far. Can he get lucky on this flop?
Well, flop comes 10-5-3. Charlie's got a gut shot straight draw. He checks.
70,000.
Jonathan Jaffe with second pair. He's got 2 5s. Bet 70,000. Now that's not a big bet into a pot that's got over 300,000 in it.
Not at all. Just a TC5 bet, and he's going to get a call here.
Well, that little bet has got a call.
Turn card coming.
Oh, a deuce comes off. Charlie Marchese has made a straight. He is checking it.
80,000.
And this time Jonathan Jaffe bets 80,000 with second pair.
I'm on.
But that ploy is not going to work. Charlie's going over the top all in right here.
Doesn't want to possibly be outdrawn. The guy happened to have a flush draw against him, so he is putting it all in. Charlie works with trucks in Long Island. Came up here to take a shot to pay some bills, he said. Was winning in the cash games, and then all of a sudden he decided to play a satellite for the tournament. The rest is poker history.
Well, you're right, Vince. His friend suggested he play a one-table satellite for $250. Won that. Won his way into this tournament. Here he is at the final table with a shot at $1.1 million.
Yes, he is. He's a father of 3, and he takes his first pot here tonight. Nicely done, Charlie.
And there you see, his family is delighted. Well, Vince, I must say I'm a little baffled by that bet on the flop by Jonathan Jaffe. In my opinion, he's supposed to make a much bigger bet than that. Might have won that pot rather than lost it.
Right now, the WPT Player of the Year, Jonathan Little, is our chip lead, $0.4 million in chips.
In second place, Jonathan Jaffe with $4.4 million. Charlie Marchese in third place with a little over 1.1, and David the Dragon Pham in dire straits on the short stack.
Charlie quickly folds.
Oh, Vince the Dragon has picked up a queen. You know he's going to set all his chips in here right now.
Race.
Yeah, he doesn't have too much left. David with ace queen. Very short stacked on the morphine drip.
280. Hold on.
Sticks it all in.
Well, every player in the world would do that with this hand in this situation. Now let's see what Jonathan Jaffe's going to do behind him with an ace-8 offsuit.
Well, he's going to make a quick call there.
And he does call the 280,000.
Jonathan Little with a king deuce of hearts.
That's going to cost him 220,000 to make the call. There's 640,000 in the pot. And he's got plenty of chips, so he's going to make the call. So the Dragon getting three-way action here. Not sure he wants it. Well, the flop comes 8-6-4 with 2 hearts.
150.
Right now, the best hand is Jonathan Jaffe with the 2 8s, and he comes out betting 150,000.
Well, he's hit top pair, but of course, Jonathan Little behind him. He is 4 flushed.
Now recognize the Dragon is all in, but the 2 Jonathans can continue to bet and make what's called a side pot. Here you see it being done. 150,000 bet and called, so we have 300,000 on the side. Little has the flush draw. Jaffe with the top pair.
And the turn card.
And a queen of spade comes off. That is the dream card for David the Dragon Pham. He now is out in front with the 2 queens. But remember, the 2 Jonathans can continue to bet. They opt to check on the turn, however. 3 of spade comes off. That's the Dragon is going to triple up here, but remember, more betting can ensue. And with the checking on the side pot, Jonathan Jaffe is going to win that 300,000. And there you see the Dragon pumping his fist.
The Dragon triples up.
So the Dragon lives on here, and he is a happy dude right now. Well, Vince, he's liable to be blowing a little more smoke before this tournament's over. No question about it. 4 players left fighting it out for this $1.1 million and the title.
Dragon didn't go down yet.
Well, folks, it looks like we have run out of time here at Foxwoods, but join us next time when we look to crown our champion at the World Poker Finals.
Next time on the World Poker Tour.
Don't you love that situation?
We know he's got no intention of calling. He just wants to torture the guy for a while.
I mean, we sweat there, John.
He just pays off a huge Claude.
You want to call, Charlie? If you do that against me, I'll snap call.
Gotcha. The Dragon has to win this race to stay alive.
Unreal.
I don't understand what this is for here.